my guys think it's funny, but I'll go walk up to their classroom and peek in their window and be like, you better be in class. And they're like, what's he doing? Isn't he supposed to be at work? It's freaking 10:30.
There's a big difference between being good at a sport and being good at coaching.
But I don't eat fruits or vegetables, so I just really eat.
Because grandma makes it and it runs out, so you better get in there and push someone else down in front of you.
I mean, when my mom got it, we didn't really have the money to get it.
Welcome to this week's episode of Connections in Cal. It's your favorite local podcast, sponsored by Servpro of Longview Kelso and JoJo and Coco Boutique. Very exciting. My name is Katie Keaton. I am your Southwest Washington realtor.
And I'm Gabbi Graves, your hometown lender.
And today, we're talking about our favorite subject, sports, of course. Sports and food. We are with Jeray Key. He is the head coach of the R.A. Long High School boys basketball team and heir to the Cow Deli. He is the crowned prince of the Cow Deli.
The crowned prince of the Cow Deli. I love that. I want you to go back to work today and say that. When someone's like, I need the manager, you're like, the crowned prince.
Yeah.
So we are excited to talk to you, especially after you coming off of a very big win. This episode is being recorded in the past. So as of last night, you won your Civil War game against Mark Morris.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry
way to go.
all of our Mark Morris watchers out there, but this is going to be very R.A. Long heavy, so get buckled in.
Proud Lumberjack, so, yep.
So, how are you feeling?
Well, it's a long night, so feeling pretty good, just proud of my guys, the way they competed last night. We got down pretty early by like 12 points in the first quarter, down 10, and then we made a big run, kept our composure, fought through some adversity, and that was pretty good to see.
Honestly, a win is great, but a comeback win
is
there's
the best.
nothing sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best.
Especially in a rivalry game. I mean, at their place, too.
So, yes, away. My boys go to Mark Morris, and they were all rooting for Mark Morris. And when you were down in the beginning, I was like, you guys, don't you count them out. They're coming back, and they're going to win. And I knew it. I called it from the beginning.
So you are kind of a defector because you are from Mark Morris, correct? That's where you went to high school?
I did.
So tell us a little bit about your background with the sport of basketball, if you would.
Well, I ended up being a transfer kid that went to Mark Morris. I grew up, went to Monticello, was supposed to be an R.A. Long guy, but my whole family graduated from Mark Morris. Just a few years ago, my uncle, Mike Peterson, was actually the all-time leading scorer for the last 40, 50 years or so at Mark Morris. And he also won the last state championship that was won for the basketball team was by my uncle. And then they played for another state championship that they got second. So, my family just wanted me and my cousins and brothers to follow in our family footsteps and go to Mark Morris. So that was the main reason we ended up going over to Mark Morris and playing sports is to kind of keep the family legacy. We didn't get the championship like my uncle, but we got pretty close.
You all played under the Backamus dynasty.
Yes, yeah. We went 26-0 my junior year all the way up to the state championship, and then we lost to Linden. And then my senior year, we went 24-4 and lost by 2 points in overtime to go to the state championship. So, I had a good career there.
There was a couple decades where it was really exciting to play Monarch basketball. Not that it's not now, but now it's more exciting to play Lumberjack basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, so after high school, you did go on to play some college basketball as well.
Yeah, I ended up going to Lower Columbia playing for Coach Jim Roffler. Had really 2 good years there. Actually played for 2 NWAC championships back-to-back years.
Wow.
And lost both of those. I've been in championship games 3 times. Sometimes they call me LeBron because they say I can't win a championship. So
the facial hair is similar too.
It's tough. It's going 0-3, but you know what? Just being there, kind of having ties to each school in this community now is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
LCC, Mark Morris, R.A. Long. I've put my stamp on each school, so that's been pretty special.
Well, and your family has too. Like your like you said, your siblings, your cousins. Even your grandfather. Your family has put a huge stamp on youth sports in this community and made a huge impact.
Yeah, my grandpa was my uncle went to LCC after Mark Morris. My grandpa helped out coaching at Mark Morris before he helped coaching at RA Long as well. So, as much as it's a rivalry, but in my family, it's more about the community than anything. And if our kids are there or something, that's, who we're supporting. But we're really just supporters of everybody in our community.
Absolutely. And so after finishing up your college career at Lewis and Clark College over in Idaho.
Yeah.
You came back home. And it sounds like you got off to coaching real quick. Gabbi and I were talking, and Gabbi knows a lot about your background. I'm like, oh, okay, I know that person's name, and cool. So she was telling me, how you'd been coaching, and I was like, okay, so is this his second, third year as head coach? She's like, no, girl. This is his 7th year, which you're about our age. So I'm like, am I that old? Could I possibly be? But I guess I am.
I told her, no, you got a running start right out of college.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Was there a job opening? Were you recruited? How does that work?
Yeah, actually it was. Came back, didn't really have a job out of college. Came back into town, what am I going to do? And
those were stressful days.
I want to still play basketball. And Scott Sapia was back in town. He said, hey, I got a job for you. And I'm like, oh, what's up? And he's, come coach the C team at RA Long. I'm like, I need to make some money. So, and I want to still be involved in the sport. And so I was like, sure. And right when he called, I told him, yeah. I didn't even think about it. Didn't care what school it was. And that's why I ended up being there. And it was pretty cool because during that time, my grandpa actually coached the C team with me before he passed away in 2016. So me and him got to do that together, which was one of the most special moments in my life. So having him there and just being able to coach was pretty cool.
That is really,
absolutely.
I have goosebumps. That's really profound. Connections and Cowlets is proudly sponsored by locally owned and operated ServPro of Longview, Kelso, the #1 residential and cleanup company in the U.S. They help with mold remediation, fire damage, and so much more. Remember, as homeowners, you get to pick who's inside your home. Locally owned, locally operated, ServPro of Longview, Kelso.
And we are excited to announce that we have a new sponsor on the podcast, JoJo and Coco Boutique. This is a woman-owned business where they are focused on the relationship over the sale. The styles are quality, they're timeless pieces, and they are meant to work for women of literally any age. We can vouch for them. We're actually both wearing JoJo and Coco right now. And I didn't even mean to do that, you guys.
I did.
So make sure you stop in for yourself or someone you love. JoJo and Coco Boutique is on the corner of Commerce and Hudson here in Longview. There's a big difference between being good at a sport and being good at coaching.
Yes.
Those are two very different skill sets. And so you can see kids that were really successful at every level that they played at, successful in high school, successful at college. But you ask them to coach a C team and it all falls apart. It's just not something that they have the skill set for. Right. So what do you think prepared you for that? Or was it a rude awakening your first year, or did you just jump right in?
Is it genetics?
A little bit of everything. I just jumped right in, but I played for, I had the best coaching growing up, being #1, my grandpa. And after that, Backmus and Coach Roethler, they're Hall of Famers. Some of the most wins in Washington history. So being able to take what they taught me and what my grandpa taught me and then put my own little twist on it to make things my way. But, I didn't reinvent the wheel of how basketball was played or anything. I just kind of took pieces from each coach and applied it to how I'm teaching the game. And the one thing that I learned the most from all those coaches, it's besides the X's and O's, it's honestly just getting to know your players. And if you really care about them and they see it, they'll do anything for you. They're high school kids that if you show that you really sincerely care about them outside of the sport, they'll run through a wall for you. So I think that's what I learned from these other coaches. You call them, hey, how's it going? How's school doing? How are you doing here? Hey, let's get this grade up. My guys think it's funny, but I'll go walk up to their classroom and peek in their window and be like, you better be in class. And they're like, what's he doing? Isn't he supposed to be at work? It's freaking 10:30. I'm like, no, I got my eyes on you. And they'll come to practice. I'm like, Coach Key was at the window at school.
You're always
looking
watching.
through there like, what's he doing? He's crazy. But they say that, but they know they like it. That, man, he really cares about me. He wants to make sure I'm here. I'm on time. So, but I remember being that kid, and when that was done to me, you know, I was like, oh man, this guy. But then if they didn't get on me, I'm like, oh, does he not care anymore? So it's like you want that discipline, but you're waiting to have it from someone. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with those guys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that is such an important part of an important accountability piece, because a lot of kids don't really listen to their parents, maybe aren't even really caring about what their teachers are saying. But when your coach is like, hey, you have all the ability in the world, I can't play you if you don't have your grades up. Like, it's just another level of accountability to get kids on the right path, for sure.
Yeah, that's big. And, you know, I got a son that's going to be a freshman next year coming up and playing for me. You know, I could train him all day, tell him what to do, and it's just like, he don't care about my background. I'm dad. Like, I'm like, I got to take him to some other training. I got to pay out of my pocket for someone else to train him when I can give him because it's coming from me, so it's different. I'm just like, all these other kids want to be trained by me, my team, but my son's just kind of like, okay, old man. I'm like, all right, here, let's sign you up, get you some training somewhere. So.
Oh, yeah, isn't that the way it works?
Yeah, we can relate to that.
Okay, so did you listen to your grandpa, or did you have the same vibes with him? Maybe grandpa's a little different.
I listened to my grandpa. He made me listen to him, or he put some harm on me. I mean, if I messed around at practice, I ain't gonna lie, I'd get thumped in front of everybody. Or he did this thing called the death grip, where he'd stick his nails in the top of our head. And me and my cousin, you know, we were kind of little show-offs and mess around. And, you know, he'd come up and just smack us right in the back of the neck and tell us to freaking straighten up. So, you know, not having our dads in our life, I got in trouble in school. And Gabbi knows, we went to middle school together. I was in trouble all the time.
Oh, no, you were actually really well behaved.
My grandpa, he took me home, and I had to go to his house, and I got the switch from him. And he's an old man, but you know what? Go get the switch and don't get the biggest one. No, I'm thinking, what do you mean the biggest one? Like, of course I'm not going to get the biggest one, which was a trick.
Yes.
And obviously you're going to get the small one, so I'd always grab the small one, not even knowing.
That it hurts worse.
Oh, man. But, you know, that was the type of, like, discipline I needed in my life that kind of kept me on that path, because my dad wasn't around there every day. So just having that role model was life-changing for me. And so I kind of try to just follow his legacy of like what I'm doing in this community, of what he did.
Probably not with the switches though.
No. Well, on my son, yeah. But yeah, just following his legacy and coaching a lot of kids and doing that, and you know, just trying to help everybody out.
So what was the transition for you from C Squad to now being the head coach of the varsity team? What did that look like?
Well, it was a weird situation. I was a C team coach for 2 years, and they asked me to be the co-head coach with Coach Wallace. And then I was the co-head coach for 3 years with him until he retired. So, I mean, I was cool with just, you know, helping out. It didn't really matter if I was a co-head coach, the assistant coach. And it was kind of easy for me and Wallace because we just got along. He was my C team coach. He's a great guy. Like, me and him, you know, we vibe. Like, he's a great dude. He means well for the kids and stuff. It's not about him. So
Raleigh Wallace.
Yeah. So me and him just did a really good job just kind of doing it. And then when he stepped down after his 3 years with me, then I took over. And
were you nervous?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I was still like young and in shape, and I was out there I'm just out of college trying to go play professionally overseas. And so I'm out there just kicking those guys' butt. Like, and they were like, oh man, look at this guy. He's 24 years old and he's out here just dunking on us and doing this. And they're like, wow, you know, so I was like in my prime right then. So I was just like,
they like feared you.
Probably
just gonna break our ankles.
Yeah, more than anything, you know, like, so like I wasn't nervous at all because I've been playing at a really high level and stuff at that time. So.
Yeah.
That is so nice for a coach to have, because like my son, it's his first year of middle school, and all of the coaches that he has, they all played basketball and they're all still in shape. They all still can beat the boys. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are going to let us beat you?
Yes.
Like, we're grown men and you're going to let us beat you? But definitely adds a level of respect when it's like, oh, I know this person actually knows what they're talking about.
Yes. And can back it up. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's big for kids, is like, you know, I'm not saying that other guys, older guys who are coaching, but like when you can go out there, you tell them what to do, but you can also show them what to do. It's a powerful tool. You know, like it's easy to tell a kid to do something, but not go out there and show them, and then it's harder. You know, giving them that visual of how to do it. Then they're like, oh, so that's how you do it. Because you can just tell them, and then they're just kind of like, but am I doing it right?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
Totally.
There's different ways of learning for sure. So, do you have, well, okay, you guys, did you know that Jeray is about to get his 100th career win?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we need to make a phone call today and tell someone at the school. So your game's on Friday, right?
It is.
Okay, don't jinx him though.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it could be your
Right.
100th career win.
By the time this episode comes out, it'll be out in a couple weeks. I'm
Yes.
sure you'll be on like your 105th. And like 100th will
That's
be
the
old
plan.
news.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And
Because currently you're ranked 4th in the state, correct?
Yes.
Wow.
yeah.
I don't think that's happened since, maybe Mark Morris was ranked 4th when we were in high school.
They were actually up there a few years ago. When we played almost for a state championship, I think the highest we were at was about 4 or 5.
All right.
So it's been pretty close to that right there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's been some good basketball for us and Mark Morris over these last 3 or 4 years. It's been a really big, over the last 4 years, I think I seen a thing where like 79 and 19 and Mark Morris is like 82 and 22.
Wow.
From 2 schools in the last 4 years of up to about 80 wins and 20 losses is pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's a testament to our community for sure. And the hard work that you guys are putting in.
And it's nice to have equal competition around where you live. You know what I mean? It's hard once you get, like, if you go to districts or state or whatever, and you were playing in a really easy league, then sometimes it's easy to get blown out once you get to the next step.
So true.
So it's nice that you have competitive teams to play against.
Yeah.
What's the phrase?
Here locally.
High tides rise, or high waters rise all.
Rising tides rise all ships.
There you go.
There you go. That's the one.
So bad at phrases. Yeah.
I'm surprised you've heard that one.
It's a new
I've
one
heard
for
them,
me.
I just don't know them. Yeah.
I'm always saying random phrases on here, and Gabby's like, "That's not real," and I'm like, "Girl, yes, it is. I will find it. I will
Half of
look
them
it
are.
up for
I swear to
you."
God. Half.
I'm a quote guy, so I do them at practice every day for my guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take that one. It's not a quote, but, when you are surrounding yourself with equal competitors, you are going to advance yourself. You want to surround the 5 people surrounding you
Is who you become like.
is who you become like. So you want those people to be achieving more than you so that you can too rise to their level.
Yes,
That's just what
absolutely.
I tell everybody. Iron sharpens iron,
Yep.
So that's what I tell my guys, having just a good team around each other, and you guys compete every single day. You guys are just getting each other better. So.
Well, and that's one thing that it's funny, coaching or being around kids that are playing at the youth level, and something that you have to teach them is that it is a team sport. So when they're younger, I feel like they're very selfish players sometimes, and it's like, okay, well, I want to be the best one on the team. Even if my team loses, I want to be the best one. And it's like, no, you should want the best for all of your team members, because you can't win, you can't be successful unless you're all doing well.
Right.
And so it should be less about you and more about the team in general.
And everybody has a different role. And if everyone can master their role, you will win. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're at that age right now. We're 10 for our tournament basketball team. My son is, my son's 5'4" and around 170 pounds in 4th grade. So he's like a mini Shaq. And convincing him that he's not going to be Steph Curry took a whole season. But now that he understands that, like, he sometimes is the highest scorer in the game or the second highest scorer in the game because he's unstoppable. He's a giant brick wall. So
Yeah, I've seen your kids. They came into the deli a few times and ate.
that's right.
No.
So speaking of the deli, let's transition a little bit into
Yes.
your other role. Like I said, Crown Prince of the Cow Deli.
The Country Folks
The
Deli.
Country Folks
Yes.
Deli, right across the street from where we are recording today. So we're like staring out the window, waiting for
Right,
you to
I was
walk
like,
over.
where's 1322? I look out because I know it's somewhere close. I'm like, oh, it's right there, right across the
Yeah.
street. Oh.
Thank you for making the commute.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your mom is the owner.
Yes.
Okay. And how long has
Miss
she
Page.
been in charge?
She's a doll.
Oh, man. I think 5-6 years or so.
Okay. So
yeah.
we have some serious questions for you.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yes.
there's a sign in the Country Folks Deli. What does it say, Gabby?
Unattended children will be given free coffee and a puppy.
So we're wondering, how many times have you given out free coffee and a puppy?
Man, like 100 times probably. No, it's fine.
Watch out.
Okay, but seriously, how many times do you have to tell people not to climb on the cow inside? And is it kids or grown adults?
I have to tell the grown adults more than the kids.
How many times have I said, Katie, that I want us to take a selfie on the cow for this episode? And she's like, Gabby, stop. Don't even ask.
We're going to be bad influences.
The other adults want to like
sturdy?
No, it's not that sturdy. She's been there for a while.
Is it paper mache?
I'm not
don't
sure.
think so.
But we got one at the back door that little kids like to get on too. So that's the one that little kids get on, and we're like, hey, that's going to break.
So we can't get on the cow. Okay.
I told you.
Okay, I figured. But it's worth an ask. Come on. Everyone watching this has had that intrusive thought.
Getting on it. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like, okay, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, Country Folks Deli or Cow Deli? How, like, what is the official name?
I don't know. I mean, the official name is Country Folks Deli, but we just call it Cow Deli, short for Country Folks Deli.
Just
to kind of make it
a little more fun.
Country Folks
Yes.
Cow Deli.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just kind of like.
Do
people are like, oh, that's the same place? It's like, it's the same place. So I think sometimes people get confused if they're not.
If you're from Longview, you call it Cow Deli. If you're from Cowlitz County, in general, it's Country Folks Deli. Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
don't know if that's true.
Oh, well.
I live in Tootle. I think everyone in Cowlitz County calls it the Cow Deli. That's how you know that you're a transplant if you don't.
Yeah,
that's
true.
what I would say.
Okay, true. Very true.
So,
well, I don't call it Cow Deli. I call it Country Folks Deli.
No.
So when people, I mean, it's kind of funny when people.
But you're the heir to the throne.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, people just kind of have their own little, how they remember the place, I guess.
And I think everyone has like their first memory there. Mine is that I went there the first time I ever had strep throat. So it's very triggering for me.
Weird memory, Katie. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up.
I was one of those children that got strep throat like every single month. So it's a huge part of my background. And it all started at the Cow Deli. I didn't get it from there though. It's okay, you guys. It's okay. Gabby was talking about how she has some menu requests for you. And the ultimate thing is that we need some more items on the special bread.
Yeah, okay, the Parmesan grilled bread. I just think that everything should be on that. Just everything. Like, we can just...
What, every sandwich?
Every sandwich.
You can do that.
Just get rid
You
of the
can
normal
do that,
bread.
Gabby.
Like, you need to just put cheese on everything.
I don't eat the grilled Parm bread.
You don't?
And why not? This is the tea.
Honestly, to be totally honest, I've had it like not on sandwiches, but I've never even tried it on a sandwich.
What's your bread of choice there?
The pesto chicken salad.
White bread and grilled, or just homemade white bread. But people like oh, let me get a egg salad sandwich on grilled Parm bread. And I'm like, that sounds disgusting. Like a grilled Parm bread with an egg salad. I'm like, all right, hey, if that's what you want.
That does sound a little weird.
But
I need it.
But you said it's change every sandwich.
I guess you're
to
right.
it.
The egg though. Once I think about the egg.
Yeah, it's like
the pesto chicken salad on the chicken or the Parmesan grilled bread is phenomenal. To die for. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the beer cheese soup, to die for.
My favorite is the veggie sandwich. I think that's the 0-0.
You would.
With the sprouts.
Yeah, you would.
You don't get sprouts very many places anymore. So.
And I don't eat either of those.
I'm a big sprouter.
That's the crazy thing. Or like number one sandwiches I don't even eat. I'm just kind of, but I don't eat fruits or vegetables. So I just really...
Don't listen, kids.
Yeah. Don't do that.
He eats all the fruits.
Yes, I'm strict. Like I just go with like turkey and cheese and bacon, but I don't do lettuce. I don't do no veggies. So.
Okay, but time out. You do eat Grandma's Cobbler, right? Because oh my gosh, it is so good.
I probably ate a few things off our menu. Like, I'll eat burgers.
Is it your grandma's and you don't eat it?
Yeah, my grandma makes.
I'm gonna tell on you. That is messed up.
Yeah.
That is delicious. I ate it for breakfast. A week ago when we were in there?
Like a month ago, but
maybe.
yes.
Yeah. I might have been back since, but yeah. It is my favorite thing to eat.
Yeah, she makes quite the good desserts. Everybody loves them. We go through them pretty quick, so.
Yeah, it's incredible. If you haven't tried the Blackberry Cobbler at Country Folks Deli, you need to run and go there.
Get
Seriously.
It with a cup of coffee.
Yes, because Grandma makes it and it runs out. So you better get in there and push someone else down in front of you.
That's why Gabby eats it for breakfast, so she knows that it's still there.
Yeah.
The early bird catches the worm, and the early
Cobbler.
patron gets the cobbler.
Yep.
That's another, let's add that to our list of sayings. We'll make
No,
that
people
one up.
come in and buy the whole pan, like businesses.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we sell
Okay.
like a whole
Okay.
one for like $65. And people come in and buy them for their businesses and stuff.
I was just thinking, Katie, every person that buys a home is getting a cobbler. Done.
Done.
Well, because I know a real estate agent that buys them like a cake with a picture of their house on it. Cobbler is
Grandma
better.
can, like, trace a
No,
house.
no,
Icing.
no, just cobbler. So good. That's
Okay,
a great
so
idea.
what is your favorite thing there? A burger then?
Yeah, I like quite a few. Actually, I might say the club, but our burgers are really good. But that triple club, I mean, it's so big that, I mean, I can eat, and me and my wife actually split it. Like, so, but I'd probably go with the triple club.
Okay.
Well, and that actually brings up another thing. Your wife works there, right?
Yeah, she's
You are
a
the
server.
manager, and she's a server.
Yep.
Your mom owns the place.
Yep.
And your cousin is also a server.
Yeah.
And your
So-
grandma is the baker.
Yeah. And my stepdad is the cook with his best friend. I mean, it's a family around. My
It
aunt's
is.
also a server and
That's
stuff.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And your adorable little girls are there
And
sometimes
yeah,
too.
and they run the place as well.
It's
so
truly-
my girls run around through the restaurant, you know, annoy the customers. But-
No, that's where you're wrong. It doesn't annoy the customers. The customers love it because that's
No,
the
they
thing.
do. They always like talk to them. And actually, next September, me and my wife will actually be part owners with my mom and dad. So we're gonna be taking over the restaurant with them. So pretty exciting. Yeah.
Congratulations.
My mom's getting a little older, ready to kind of step back a little bit and kind of enjoy her grandkids, be there a little bit less, and so. Yeah, me and my wife are going to help take over the place.
That sounds amazing.
When you were younger, did you ever think you'd be a restaurant owner and basketball coach? Like, was that on your bingo card?
No, even when my mom bought the restaurant for a couple of years, I probably only went in there probably 2 times. I never even went
Yeah.
to the restaurant. I never even heard about the place. But I was just coaching basketball. And I'm like, all right, let me go check it out. And then, I went there and honestly, I needed to make some money. So you can come work here, but I'll just kind of like, I don't want to go work for my mom. Like, I don't want to have like, be, oh man, you're working for your mom. You need to make some money. Here's a handout. So,
No.
but she didn't give me a handout. I didn't start as a manager. She put me in the kitchen. I was doing dishes for my first year being there. She
You were
had me
busting
washing
your
dishes
hump,
every
yeah.
single night.
Well, and I was gonna say
Just kind of
anybody-
humbling me, and I was thinking I was going to come in there and be up front. Now I had to make my way up there. So.
Well, and anybody that has worked at a restaurant or owned or managed a restaurant knows it is so hard. Like, you probably walk like 15,000 steps a day plus. You never sit down. You never have a break. You never have a moment. Like, yeah, so you definitely, it's not a handout. If anything, it is a mutual thing. You family helping family for sure. Because your mom probably couldn't run that place without you and your wife.
Yeah, it's really like running a basketball team to me. It's just really about bringing people together, caring about each other, working hard, and, everybody has a role, do your role. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of fun there because we're all always messing around, have a good time.
Yes.
Have great people that work for us that care about serving people in our community and stuff. So, I mean, our restaurant, we get a lot of like good feedback. It really is a special place,
Yes.
One thing about the restaurant, I mean, when my mom got it, we didn't really have the money to get it, but my mom prayed to God that, and this is a true story, she prayed and said, hey, and she was just a server at the deli before we bought it, and she was like, if there's any way that you can have me and my husband buy this place, I don't know how you will do it, I will help people out as much as I can. Anybody I can, I will feed the homeless. And that's what she did. And she somehow got it. We don't know how it all happened. It was unbelievable. And they sold it. They could have sold it to anybody. And it was sold to my mom. And, when homeless people come in, we don't really turn them down. We try to get them half a sandwich, give them some soup. We'll always give them some soup, something warm, some coffee. And sometimes they'll come back and they're rude, but I'll look up my mom kind of like, hey, I don't know. She's like, you need to give them. That's what I told God I would do, and I'm going to keep my word. And so she does a lot of stuff. My mom goes and feeds, goes to the community house and serves people there. We have some special ed kids that we let come work for us in the morning. We let them do silverware for us, clean up, give them jobs there. So she does a lot for this community, and I'm super proud of my mom and the person she is and how she's used this business to help the community. It's not about making money and stuff. It's really about helping others and people in need that, can't ever repay you. And that's something that's gone a long way, and that's where I learned from my mom. Help people that can't ever repay you, because that's what life's about.
It's so true. And yeah, Paige's, I work for I volunteer on different nonprofit boards, and Paige has helped different organizations that I'm a part of, and she is just amazing and giving. And like you said, you guys do have so much fun. One thing people don't know is that they cater. So if you have an event coming up, you have a company Christmas party next year, whatever, they cater and they have a really good time. So if you
get the cobbler,
so
get everything on the Parmesan Crusted Bread for your company party.
Yes, absolutely. And they have other special things that you can order on the menu that aren't a part of the normal Country Folks menu, if you will, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I agree. Just when I go to Country Folks, that it is supporting the community in multiple ways. So I love going there. I adore your family, and I'm excited for you and your wife to
thank you.
take over.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like there is a long history of helping people in your family with the restaurant. That's amazing. Bringing it back to basketball. We all know, we've talked to Tyler Hoekman, but our husbands both coach as well. And we know that it is an act of service because it helps get kids on the right path, keep them out of trouble and everything like that. So you're doing the Lord's work for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Bringing it back to basketball really fast. What are your plans? Like, do you have big plans, aspirations for like the rest of this season, next year, anything that are your overarching goals?
And do you need help getting to those goals?
Our goal is to
keep winning games.
Keep winning. We want to win a league championship, district championship, and then a state championship. It's always those goals every single year. And I really believe it every year that we can do it. Our guys put in a lot of work. So that's really just our goals, and then once we get to like near like state, if we make it a state, I always do like a little page of like a kind of like a GoFundMe so that I can take the kids out to dinner, buy them all sweatshirts and sweats for, stuff that they can remember. So
that's why
I always I always put something out there. You know what, we always, when we make it there, there's been a lot of supportive people that donate to it, and I've been able to buy the guys stuff and then put money in their pocket for them to kind of, well, here you go, because the school will give them a little bit of money as well, so then we can go to the mall and they can kind of look around. So it's just like a good time for them to be able to experience that state, because you really only, if you're playing 4 years, you only get 4 opportunities to do that if you do it. So that's like one of the special moments for them, and it's a great time. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Well, we are wishing you luck, and I hope you get your 100th win on Friday. But I hope you keep on going. You're off to a great start for the season, and it sounds like there's a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. One thing that we always ask people that come on the show is, what is your Cowlitz County gem, your hidden gem in Cowlitz County that you want to give a shout out to? This is Connections in Cowlitz. It's like, what is a place that you think maybe doesn't get enough shine that you want to shout out on the podcast?
Country Folks Deli.
Yeah, Country Folks Deli. But I don't outside of work and basketball, I don't really go do much around here.
Okay, where is your favorite pickup place to play basketball?
Yeah,
basketball
great question.
Court.
I just played all along. But honestly, I'll tell you this. If you want a gem, a hidden gem, I do got one. It's the new facility called Game Winner that Kyle Randall is the trainer at.
Yes.
And his wife it's not just basketball. His wife does softball. She was a Division I pitcher, I believe. He played Division I, played in the NBA G League. So
it's over on 3rd Avenue next to Scythe in that complex there, and he does private lessons,
group trainings. It's really starting to take off. I'm actually going to have my kid sign up and start doing trainings with him,
because he doesn't
my kid
listen
doesn't
to
want to listen to me. But he's a great trainer, and he's a really good dude. He's very faithful in his belief in being a Christian. He's just an awesome guy. But his gym is about to explode. He's starting AAU teams. So there's a lot of good opportunities that are happening over there. So I would go check out Game Winner Facility, his page and everything, because that place is going to be pretty big.
See,
time.
that's exactly the
Yes.
answer we wanted. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
And I second that. Kyle Randall's amazing. Our team has just escalated so much, our tournament team, the Kings, since we started going there.
Very cool. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to shout out? You want to say thank you to anyone or give a shout out? Maybe you got something fun going on at the restaurant or anything you want to say before we leave off?
Well, first of all, thanks for just having me on here. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool, just kind of shouting out the community and everything. But I would give a big shout out to my assistant coach, Coach Walls. He's been with me for the last few years, and he does it for free. He's actually a volunteer for me because he just likes being around, and it's been pretty cool having his son, Connor, actually coach my C team. So that role that I got to do with my grandpa being the C team coach and having him in my ear, he kind of gets to do with his son before he actually retires this upcoming year. But he's still going to help out with basketball the next year. So he'll be helping me for 4 years or so and not get $1 for it, but just given to the community, to RA Long, because he wants to be a part of it. So I don't really get to tell him enough, but it's just a huge shout out to him and that act of kindness.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Wallace and
Absolutely.
go Lumberjack.
Yeah,
Go Lumberjacks.
Okay.
I don't get to say that much at home.
Yeah,
Go Lumberjacks.
She's saying it with her full chest.
Yeah, she got all baby blue at home, though.
Unfortunately.
I've seen her many times when her son playing football wearing that baby blue.
Well, she left it at home today.
Yes,
so
yeah.
at least
I
she
did.
did that for you.
I tried to look for an R Long shirt, and I don't own one. But I am a proud sponsor of the R Long boys basketball team.
Yes, your board's up, too, in our gym.
There you go.
Yeah.
So shout out to Gabbi as well. All right. Well, thank you all for watching this episode of Connections in Cal. It's brought to you by Serpro Longview Kelso and now JoJo and Coco Boutique. We will be back with you next time.